So Simple tutorial. Good morning students. Welcome to SST So Simple tutorial. In the previous class, we read about the various aspects of life where women are discriminated and the political representation of women. Today, we will discuss the division based on religious differences. Let us recall what we read in the chapter Democracy and Diversity first. There may be social differences because of gender, religion, or caste. Some social differences may lead to social division, others may not. If a social division takes place that affects politics, political parties take advantage of these divisions in their own interests. You should keep in mind the cases of Northern Ireland and Netherlands. India is a home to diverse religions. Some religions have large followings, other faiths too have sizable followers. There are differences about the way people practice their religion. Accordingly, there are divisions in the sections of society, and these divisions are often expressed in the field of politics. Before I start discussing communalism and secularism, let us see some of the instances that involve a relationship between religion and politics. Firstly, Gandhiji's view on religion and politics. Gandhiji used to say that religion can never be separated from politics. When he used the term religion, he never meant any particular religion like Hinduism, Buddhism, or say Sikhism. He emphasized the need that politics must be guided by the moral values derived from all religions. Second, human rights groups have established that religious minorities are the worst victims of the communal rights. Therefore, they emphasize that special laws need to be made to protect the religious minorities. Third, women's organizations have always claimed that family laws of all religions discriminate women. They therefore demanded that these laws should be changed so that women get equal rights. What are family laws? Let us look at the glossary. Family laws. Those laws that deal with family related matters such as marriage, divorce, adoption, inheritance, etc. In our country, different family laws apply to followers of different religions. We have Hindu Succession Act of 1956 for Hindus. Muslims are governed by Muslim law, Sharia of 1937. From all these examples, we can find two things. One, religious differences make demands on the power structure in the country. Two, there is nothing wrong in developing a close relationship between religion and politics. Rather, a healthy relationship will only strengthen the roots of democracy. Through this relationship, people get a chance to give vent to their grievances and differences. Ideals and values drawn from different religions should form the foundation of this relationship. Those who hold political power should sometimes be able to regulate the practice of religion so as to prevent discrimination and oppression. These political acts should treat every religion equally. So let us now try to understand what is communalism. Communalism means to distinguish people on the basis of religion, to treat the persons belonging to one's own religion as friends and others as enemies. It is an ideology that emphasizes the separate identity of a religious group in relation to other groups, and it is an ideology that encourages a tendency to promote one's own religion at the cost of other religions. As far as our country is concerned, the spirit of communalism was born during the British rule and was largely the result of divide and rule policy practiced by the Britishers. It found its climax when the country was divided into two parts in 1947 on communal lines. So, mind you, a communal mind always sees religion as the basis of nation. Communalism can take various forms in politics. Let us now see what they are. The most common expression of communal politics is in everyday's beliefs which involve religious prejudices, stereotypes of religious communities, etc. As you know, prejudice is a negative attitude or behavior towards individuals. This is based on a prejudgment about those individuals without having any prior knowledge or experience. Religious prejudice means negative attitude or behaviors between people of different religious groups because of their differing religious beliefs. For example, a person might have a lot of preconceived ideas about someone who is Christian, Muslim, or Jewish and will allow those judgments to affect the way they view and treat those people. When for whatever reason people of one religion becomes adversaries with people of a different belief system, prejudice and discrimination always occur. Stereotypes are fixed images of a person and a community. It is a sort of labeling some group or people. Stereotypes prevent us from looking at people as unique individuals. That is why I always say we should never laugh at jokes that are based on stereotypes. We should never watch movies or read books that promote negative attitudes towards certain groups of people. Another form of communal politics is the quest for political dominance of one's own religious community. This type of dominance is called majoritarian dominance. We have seen this in the case of Sri Lanka. Political mobilization on communal lines is another frequent form of communalism. Political mobilization on religious lines means to bring together people of the same religion belonging to one particular country by involving the use of sacred symbols, religious leaders, and emotional appeals. You must have seen people using flags of a particular religious community in a rally or a protest. Special appeals are made to voters to cast their vote according to their religion. It is done through political parties, party workers, etc., who reach out to the masses and play with their sentiments. Sometimes communalism takes its most ugly form of communal violence, riots, and massacre. Communal riots are nothing but clashes between two or more religious communities. Communal riots disturb the social peace. We have experienced the worst kind of riots post partition. Communalism was and continues to be a major challenge to democracy in India. This communalism is not a threat to some people in our country, but it threatens the very idea of India. If any of the religious groups were to assert their authority and lordships over other groups, there would be tension and internal conflicts. Fear and insecurity would grip the citizens. These are sufficient to shake the very foundations of a democratic society. Therefore, it needs to be combated. How this can be done? A secular constitution is necessary to fight communalism, but this is not enough. Communal prejudices and propaganda need to be countered in everyday life. Religion based mobilization needs to be countered in the arena of politics. The makers of our constitution were aware of the challenges of communalism. Therefore, they chose to make India a secular state. You have already read in the previous year what is a secular state. A secular state is a state that does not recognize a religion as a state religion. It treats all religions with equal respect. It does not show any bias or discrimination in matters of religion. This choice is reflected in several provisions of our constitution. First of all, there is no official for the Indian state. Unlike the case of Buddhism in Sri Lanka, that of Islam in Pakistan, and Christianity in England, our constitution does not give special status to any religion. Our constitution provides to all individuals and communities freedom to profess, practice, and propagate any religion. It prohibits discrimination on the grounds of religion. At the same time, the Constitution allows the state to intervene in the matters of religion in order to ensure equality within religious communities. For example, it bans untouchability. Students, I hope you must have got an idea of what is communalism, how it is a threat. Let us go to the question part now. Students, now you should be able to answer these questions. 1. What are family laws? 2. State different forms of communal politics. 3. Mention any two constitutional provisions that make India a secular state. Dear student, let me stop here now. In the meantime, you read your textbook. In the next class, we will discuss the next part, caste and politics. Till then, keep reading and have a nice time. Thank you.